Pastor Tom, the last couple weeks, walked us through 1 Kings chapter 8 and 1 Kings chapter 9. And we talked about the story of Solomon and how he had a good first half of his life, but then his heart became divided, and he had a very poor second half. And if you look to the beginning of his rule and reign in 1 Kings chapter 3, he says a prayer that personally, as a young man, young leader, young husband, young father, I am praying regularly. Lord, give me wisdom and discernment to recognize the difference between good and evil, to know which way to go, to know how to lead, to know who to follow. Would you teach me how to come into your presence and then go out into the world to be your hands and feet? Would you give me wisdom to understand beyond my years that I might not sin against you? And that's how Solomon begins. So he starts in the right place, and he leads all the way to 1 Kings 8, where he builds a temple. But then we see little hints and little clues of how in Deuteronomy 17 it tells us exactly what Israelite kings are not supposed to do. And one by one, Solomon begins to do each of those things and slowly divides his heart over time, leading not just him to ruin, but an entire kingdom. Divided hearts lead to divided kingdoms. And we have another story that's similar. If you return to Genesis chapter 12, you would see God call Abraham. Now the Lord said to Abram, go from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you. And I will make you into a great nation. And I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. And in you all the families of the earth will be blessed. What does the first portion say? So Abraham went away as the Lord had spoken. So he was obedient. He went away as God had said. But what does the first thing in the passage say? Go from your country and what? From your relatives. Who goes with him? His nephew, Lot. Lot went with him. Would anyone like to go through the Old Testament passages and tell me how many problems Abraham has because Lot went with him? He makes plenty of mistakes for himself, but Lot sure as heck did not help at all. So how much extra pain, how much extra difficulty did he bring on the journey? And friends, Abraham literally divided his kingdom in half, because when he gets to the land, you know what he does? Hey, Lot, pick which section of land you want, and I will take the other portion. So he entered into the agreement with God with a divided heart, and then he physically divides his own kingdom with his nephew that was meant to be his, that he was being led to by God. We do that all the time in our own lives, where we've given God portions of things, but we've held on to some other things. And as we walk with Jesus, as we grow in our faith, as we submit and surrender to him as Lord of our lives, if you truly submit and surrender, you know what he's going to do? He's going to start tapping on those idols that we have in our lives. And he's going to start say, hey, you see this thing that's in the dark? I am the light, and that cannot be here. And he will pull those things and stick them into the light and begin to help us heal and grow from those things.